because it's true, making the case for Christianity in bite-sized pieces. Using our apologetic model, which has three prongs to it: the philosophical, the historical, and the experiential, we have put enough meat on that first prong to conclude that it is reasonable for someone to believe that there is a God and he is good. A conclusion that our Jewish friends and our Muslim friends would agree with. But Christians also believe that this good God has entered into history and has revealed himself, and the historical revelation is recorded in the Bible, and that the culmination of that revelation is Jesus himself, God in the flesh. So this brings us to a point where we need to begin to pursue an examination of this second prong, asking, is there evidence, is there reason to trust that the claims that Christianity make, that it is rooted in historical fact, are indeed valid? However, there is another side road that we need to go down first, and that has to do with how ought we to refer to the God of the Bible. In particular, should we use male pronouns or female pronouns? Or can we alternate between the two? I have been asked what I think of efforts to come out with versions of the Bible where the references to God have been rendered gender neutral. And what do I think of hymns that alter the lyrics so that the references to God are gender neutral? And my response has always been, and continues to be, both of those are unacceptable. And I'll give you three reasons. The first is, if the Bible is indeed the Word of God, as I believe that it is, then it is God's self-revelation. And he has chosen to reveal himself with masculine pronouns. We are also instructed in the Bible to do the same thing. When Jesus is teaching his disciples how to pray, he tells them, when you pray, say, "Our Father." So it seems to me to be unmitigated presumption to think that we should come along and change that. Reason number two, when it comes to hymns, to go in and tinker with a hymn in order to make it gender neutral is nothing less than literary piracy. If you don't like a song and you don't like the lyrics, don't sing it, or write your own. But to go and take a work of art, which a hymn is, and change it just because you don't like the way it was written is literary piracy. And then third, if you don't believe that the Bible is the Word of God, it is still ancient literature and you didn't write it. And to go in and tinker with it because you think it should have been written differently is literary piracy. Now, there are a few other things that need to be said, and they are important. First of all, male and female are not the same as masculine and feminine. God is neither male nor female, but he is both masculine and feminine. Now we see this throughout the Bible early on when the creation account says that God said, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, both male and female. The male and the female represent together the image of God. Thus, God is both masculine and feminine. Then as you go through the Old Testament, there are examples such as in Isaiah, the 49th chapter and the 15th verse, where God says, "Can a mother forget the baby at her breast and have no compassion on the child she has born? Though she may forget, I will not forget you." And later on in Isaiah, 66th chapter, 13th verse, God says of himself, "As a mother comforts her child, so I will comfort you." Then you get to the New Testament, and Jesus tells a parable recorded in Luke 15 of a woman who represents God seeking a lost coin. And then we have the account in Matthew 23 where Jesus is looking over Jerusalem and he says, "Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how I would have gathered you under my wings as a chick gathers her brood." But then there's one other really significant thing we need to understand. The most predominant name of God used in the Old Testament is Yahweh, which is a fascinating combination of male and female, excuse that, masculine and feminine, because Yah is feminine, Way is masculine.